A blessed day to you, and today's benefit is, if you don't arise, others may not. Nehemiah 2 verses 17 and 18, New Living Translation. But now I said to them, you know very well what trouble we are in. Jerusalem lies in ruins, and its gates have been destroyed by fire. Let us rebuild the wall of Jerusalem and end this disgrace. Then I told them about how the gracious hand of God had been on me, and about my conversation with the king. They replied at once, yes, let's rebuild the wall. So they began the good work. It is a common saying that a single tree does not make a forest. Similarly, another proverb says, no man is an island. The import of this proverb suggests the limitation that a single man would have without others. In fact, it is unlikely to find a task that only one man will conceive, plan, and execute without support from some quarters. Though this perspective suggests the limitation of one man, but there is something I saw in our text today about one man. The background to this was the ruins of the walls and gates of Jerusalem reported to Nehemiah, which he became burdened about. Prayerfully, he was favored to get the approval of the king to go back home and help out in setting things in order in his hometown. First, let me start from his brother Hanani that brought the report to him. He sounded helpless about the situation. He was also not living in Jerusalem. He only went for a visit. We don't know his status or position in the land, but obviously he did not think he could do anything to help them in Jerusalem. With God's favor for the release of Nehemiah, he went for a first-hand sightseeing to know how bad the situation was. After his surveillance, he brought together the elders in Israel and explained what he had been doing in the background. He followed up by making a request saying, let us rebuild the walls of Jerusalem and end this disgrace. Many a time, we are good at complaining, assessing situations, evaluating damages, and explaining problems, only waiting for someone else to come and take care of the mess. The question before us today will be, why can't you start up an initiative to get at work to find a solution to the problem? People are usually afraid of taking a pioneering effort because when the problem looks unsurmountable, no one wants to start an effort that will end up in futility. This is a natural tendency. However, we need to realize that though a tree does not make a forest, but it takes a single tree to start a forest. If the first tree was not planted, the land remains only a virgin and the possibility of becoming a forest is narrowed. If Nehemiah hadn't taken it upon himself that something had to be done about the situation, Jerusalem's walls would have remained in ruins. What we don't know is that many other people are thinking the way we are thinking, but not courageous enough to take a step. They only need someone to spur them. As soon as Nehemiah made a request for people to join him in the building, the support he received was absolute. Even when the enemy threatened that the work was not possible, the people that arose were not deterred by it. They simply said to Nehemiah, yes, let's rebuild the walls. It reminded me of the story of Deborah and Barak. Barak told Deborah, if you are not leading this battle along with me, I am not going. And Deborah answered she would. You need to know that a number of people might be looking up to you to call the first shot at removing a disgrace, starting a project, or solving a problem, which if you remain silent and indifferent, the problem will remain unsolved and potentials will not be discovered. The capacity to get Jerusalem fixed was within Jerusalem. They only needed an inspiration from one man to take the lead. Will you be that man for your family, your community, your church, or the nation? You can do it. So dear Lord, may every set man that has been dormant and troubled be encouraged to action in the name of Jesus. Amen. Thanks and enjoy today's benefits.